Hi, it's time for a Chime video. This is a NuTone model LA60 concerto musical door chime. I have had 4 people over the last 2 weeks contact me about either LA or LB60s, essentially the same chime. And each one of those people said exactly the same thing. I have an LA60 or an LB60 and it's making this weird noise, and I think it's got a bad speaker cone. And on the back you can see there's a speaker cone here and an electronic control board here. Each and every one of those people were wrong. It's never the speaker cone. The noise that you hear is not because you have a bad speaker cone. The noise that you hear is because you have a failing circuit board here. In the nearly 40 years that I've been a NuTone service center, I have never had an occasion to replace a speaker cone in either an LA60, an LB60, an LB55, or an LBC55. They simply do not just go bad. Speaker cones, for the most part, either work or they don't. They don't typically go bad and make weird noises all on their own. The noise that comes out of a speaker is what comes from the circuit board here. So I have this one set up and I have it sideways because it's just easier to see that way. I'm going to turn it on and you're going to listen really carefully. And what you might hear is this low-level background hum that's coming out of the speaker. That's not good. Now we're going to activate it. And what you heard, something like out of a science fiction movie, all these weird buzzes and clicks and buzzy sounds, and then there's a note that sounds pretty good, and then it does it the same thing over again. And what you were actually listening to is the actual song trying to play. And if we press the tune test button, and I'm pretty sure what we're getting is a high level alert from the Cylons because they're coming to get us. This one's going to get repaired, and this video is going to be a little different. This is number 1. I'm going to save this recording, and number 2 is on its way, and I think number 3 will be here shortly after that. And I'm going to pause this video and save it and do a second section to it with chime number 2, and then save it and do another section with chime number 3 to show you that they're all the same. It'll take a little while to do all of that, but if you have an LA60, an LB60, an LB55, also LA55, or an LAC or LBC55, all NuTone musical electronic door chimes, it's not the speaker, it's the chime. Why does it happen? Because it's old. This chime, there we go. Let's shut it off before something gives out. This one was made, let me look and see. This one was installed in some unknown date because the customer didn't know. Let's look on the other note that he gave us. No date, so I won't know, but I'll know at the end when I get it all fixed. So that's what section 1 is about. Section 2 coming soon. All right, we're back. The LA60 has been rebuilt. And let's go ahead and ring it. Same original speaker cone still in the chime. Because it's not the speaker cone, the weird space alien Cylon sounds are gone, and now it rings as it's supposed to. Stay tuned for section 3, the second LA60. Hi, this is the second chime in this video entitled, It's Not the Speaker Cone. I know in the beginning, the very first one, I said it was going to be 3 LB60s, but not all the people have sent their LB60s in yet. So since I recorded the first part of this video, which was a couple weeks ago, I've gotten in an LB55. This is an LB55 that was made approximately September 6th, 1984. That's what it says on the back. Again, the lady called me and said that, oh, there's something wrong with it, and I had an electrician come out to take a look at it, and he thought it had a bad speaker cone. And as I have explained previously, it's never the speaker cone, it's always the chime. So if this was installed in 1984, that makes it 41 years old. If we do the math really quickly, 41 years equals out to be 359,160 hours of time that this chime has been sitting on the lady's wall waiting for someone to ring it. It's not a matter of how many times it was rung, it's a matter of that it's 41 years old. So let's go ahead and turn it on, and you have to listen carefully. We have the ever-present background buzzing, as you would expect. If we try to ring it, wow, that just sounds swell. If we switch it up to another one, that just sounds great. Now, as I have talked about in other videos, I may have mentioned it in the first part of this video, I don't recall because that was a couple of weeks ago. When they buzz like this one is buzzing now, and the sound is all distorted, the buzzing is very bad, because the buzzing indicates that there's enough components on the circuit board that have reached the end of their useful life, and now they're not filtering out the bad electricity and only letting the good electricity through the electronic circuitry of the chime. And that bad electricity is pounding away at the microprocessor that's in the center of the board that is actually the heart of the chime. And to quote the NuTone service manual, the microprocessor is the chime. Without it, you have nothing. And early microprocessors, like in this type of chime, do not like the bad electricity. And I have a video about that where I actually show the difference between good and bad electricity, and I'll put one of those pop-up things right up here somewhere, and you can go watch that if you're curious about what that's all about. Here's our speaker cone right here, right there. And just to keep things fair, it's a part number B, like boy, 36115. And it's 8 ohms, 1 watt, made in Korea. And there is a little tiny number, 54 something T something K, I don't know. Anyway, this, oh look, and there's a red dot. Why is there a red dot? There's a red dot because speakers have polarity. Speakers have a plus and a minus, and the red dot indicates which terminal is the plus. Not relevant to what we're doing. I just thought I'd point that out. So speaker cone is going to stay, board's going to get rebuilt and repaired, and at the end, I'm going to ring it for you again. Back soon. I'm back. Our LB55 has been rebuilt, and now you'll notice it's powered up right now. I don't have to turn it on. It's already turned on. You don't hear any buzzing coming out of the speaker. And yes, the speaker is the same original one, and I'll show you that at the end. So if we ring it, it sounds exactly like what it's supposed to sound like. And we can reprogram the tune and play it again. Didn't work. Try again. That was the test tune. We can ring the rear door, which is 2 notes, and the side door, which is a single note, and once again the front door, which plays the song. So we'll shut the power off. We'll unhook the wires for power so it's easier to swing it around and show you. And there's our original speaker cone. Same speaker cone as before. I could have put a sticker on it. That would have been a good idea. We have stickers. In fact, I think I'll do that right now. All right, so now it's official. It was repaired by Northside. It's got our phone number and it's repair A1827. Special sticker, because if you peel it off, it leaves, it's a prismatic sticker and it's sort of a security sticker. If you peel it off, it separates into two halves, and the top half with the printing's unusable and the bottom half is still stuck to the magnet. So you can't like move it from thing to thing. It's from a long time ago, but we got a whole roll of them, so I try to use them up when I can. So another LB55, similar to an LB60, has been repaired, and as the video is entitled, it's not the speaker cone. I've got a couple more coming in, at least I'm supposed to have a couple more coming in, so there'll be parts, maybe 3 and 4 or something, and pretty soon we'll have enough, and then we'll put all this together into a video, and you can see, it's not the speaker. See ya. Hi, this is Chime number 3 in this video, which is entitled, It's Not the Speaker Cone. This is a NuTone model LBC55 DO. DO is for dark oak, and yes, the door came in with it, but we took it off so we don't break the hinges. And an LBC is a variation of an LB55, which is a musical door chime, but it also has an LED display and a clock, and you can program it to chime on the hour, the half hour, or the quarter hour. This was sent in by a customer, and as with everybody, he says, I think it has a bad speaker cone. And it doesn't. This particular LBC55 is from 1985. C85, which means it was made in March of 1985. So let's go ahead and power it up, and you can listen. Get nice and close. Okay. It's humming like all of them do. This chime is 40 years old. Actually, it's almost exactly 40 years old, and that means it has over 375,000 hours of time on it. So now I'm going to pause, I'm going to rebuild it, and then show you at the end the hum will be gone and it will work properly. I guess we should ring it also. Let's program it. Sounds swell, doesn't it? Let's see if we can program a song into it. That was song number 4. I think it's Good Old Days. I'm not positive. We'll know when I come back. Anyway, I'll be back shortly. As you can hear, it's 12 o'clock, time for lunch. The LB55 has been repaired, and if you listen carefully, no more hum. And it's got the same speaker in it that we started with in the first part of this video. The chime has been repaired. It now will play correctly. Or we can do one of my favorite ones, which is, let's see, program 1. And we have the rear door. And we have the side door. It functions again just like it did in 1985. If If you have an LB55 or an LBC55 or an LA55 or an LA60 or an LB60 and it's humming, it's not the speaker cone. It's the chime itself because it's old and it needs to be rebuilt to restore it back to what it was. This will be the last section in this long series of videos that I've pasted together. Hope you found this interesting, and perhaps for someone it will be helpful. If it is, give it a thumbs up on YouTube because that helps us just a little bit. There'll be a banner right here that shows you how to subscribe. Go to our YouTube homepage, click on the bell, and when you click on the bell, click on it to receive all notifications, and every time we post a new video, you'll get a notification and you can watch it. That's all for today. See you on the next video.